and welcome to a new episode of ETRetail Cafe by ETRetail. To make your Monday morning sweet, we have with us Tarak Bhattacharya, who is the ED and CEO of MOD Mad Over Donuts. Welcome Tarak to ETRetail Cafe.
Thank you, Charu. Pleasure meeting you again.
So tell me, how has been your journey in retail like? If I know in 96 you started working.
Correct.
And it was food service industry.
That's right.
So how did it happen to you? Were you always a foodie and inquisitive to join the food industry, or it happened by chance?
I think it happened by chance. I think I went on to, so my dad always said that you please complete your graduation and then do whatever you want. And then I did my BSc in mathematics and computer programming. I was one of the toppers. My dad said, listen, dude, like, don't do what you want to do. You want to wash dishes in the hotel. Don't do that. I said, it's not about washing dishes, but it's a lot of other things also apart from that. So where I started with a management trainee in one of the catering company, and then I joined Barista. There, I think it was all about customer service. It was all about coffee. We were taught that we are not into coffee business, we're into people's business. So I think that is where it all started. I think then it became an addiction, being in the industry. And that is where it all started, from making coffee to serving coffee to going international and then serving coffee there. Opened Sri Lanka, opened Bangladesh, opened Nepal, apart from the Barista in India. I went on to become the head of operation and ran 220 stores before I retired from ASO call after 10 years. But it was a long journey. I think that is where the addiction started and it kept on, I think.
And so how did MOD happen?
MOD happened by chance. I think I was doing Nando's for a brief stint. I was handling Bangladesh, Nepal, part of Singapore. That is where I met Lokesh, the founder in Singapore. And on a queue, he asked me that, what do you do apart from serving, great chicken? I said, I work for the people. So that is where it all clicked. I think Lokesh got me into MOD and said that this is a new company which we are forming. Although they had already 6 stores by the time when I joined them. I came on board. Now we are at 150 plus stores in the last 10, 12 years. So yeah, that is where it started. I think it is all about, I thought that MOD had that typical thing about a niche category which had to become a great product. I thought the product was amazing. And I thought that it will go on to become one of the niche segment, and then to staple it out will be a great business model in this country, because we had seen burgers, pizzas, coffee shops evolved in this country by that time. And that is how I thought that this is a great category, not only for the brand per se, but for me also to establish myself as one of the thought leaders in the country. So that is where it all happened.
So what was one of your life-changing career decisions that you took during this journey?
I think MOD definitely was one of my life career changing decisions, that I joined this company instead of going places outside this country. But I think, as I said, that it was a moment where I thought this category could establish itself in this country, and went out. And today we are a household name now, as you see.
So, I mean, almost 30 years you have spent in the industry.
Correct.
So, you must have seen the consumer behavior changing, right? How was the consumer then? What were their expectations when you started your career as compared to now? How have their expectations evolved?
I think a lot of things evolved in the last 20 years or so, two decades, I will put it that way.
Yeah.
I think earlier we used to sell a product.
Yeah.
And that is where, as I said, that when coffee shop happened and we were told that you are into people's business, not into a coffee business, you are selling a product. But that has evolved now to hyper-local and extremely, now I think experimenting of food has become the biggest thing. I think localization and then personalization has become the biggest currency now, I think. Instead of selling a product, you are actually selling an experience. So I think that has evolved big time in this country also. And anywhere in the world you see that experiential marketing, experiential food, especially what you see especially in food. Food is all about emotions, I think. Yeah. So experimenting in food, hyper-localization is all the one thing which has changed big time in the last 20 years.
So consumers are opting for their own choices now.
Yeah, they are like, you require innovation in this category now, especially food, because people have seen the world, they have traveled the world, they have experimented with the food, they have eaten food everywhere in the world, and that's why they are trying food in this country. So whatever they want now, convenience is the key, I think, and whatever they're wanting, if you are giving it, you are there in this business.
So food business is said to be one of the trickiest business to start here in India, right? So absolutely. I mean, it comes with its own challenges. So I mean, few years back the challenges must have been different, and now the challenges must have been different. So how are challenges navigating from where to where now?
So as I said that earlier we used to sell a product. packaged well and so selling a product. Today, you are selling that same product, but into their own convenience of what the consumer wants. If a consumer wants a product in certain way, we have to produce that and give it to them. Otherwise, you're not in the business. It has become so dynamic now that if you are not providing what a consumer or what people want, you are not in this business anymore. So that's what I think has changed, and that is going to evolve more and more now as you move forward.
So, Tarak, 30 years into the industry, and different brands you have worked with, almost 30, I'll say.
Sure.
So, you have worked with various brands. What are the learnings from the previous organizations that you carried along with you and you are implying over here at this organization to take it to new heights?
I think if you're asking for a category per se, I think you have to be persistent with what you're selling. You have to be very sure what you're selling, you have to be confident what you're selling. And since you are selling it to a particular set of consumers or multiple set of consumers, to deal your people, or especially train your people in such a way that they dissect every consumer and actually serve it to them as they want. In terms of business, I think lean and mean organization always works. Keep it simple, keep it straight, and then you are into the right business.
So building the right team is also the key.
Huge. I think building a right team is a huge thing. Unless you whatever you aspire to do, unless you don't submit it to the consumer and then to obviously to the people internally also, your business doesn't stay. I think your internal consumer, which is your own people, has to confide in you, saying that yes, we are into the right business, we're doing the right thing, and then only you'll be able to succeed.
So what are the 3 qualities that you look forward to when you appoint someone new person in your team?
I think they have to know more than me to start with. I always say that they have to be better than me for sure. I think the young people these days are so dynamic in nature. I think the new generation knows it all kind of thing. Although they may not know, but they show it. But I think you go with the tide. You have to go with the flow, how they are behaving. So I always say that when you have reached a certain age of your career and certain time in your career, to start working with a team which is a little bit in their mid-20s, 30s, because they evolve with their new ideas that can be generated into your store, into your business also. So one is definitely that they have to know better than me. I may not ask for amazing, good-looking youths or ladies coming to the show, but then I think they have to be a little bit more educated. I think education is very key. This is what I learned when we were there young, and my grandmother and my dad had this very thing that, listen, you first do your graduation, then do whatever you want in life. So I think that has to be inculcated into the new team also. So a little bit education is a must. I think a little bit more interesting will be if they are not introvert, if they are a little bit out of the way. So I think 2-3 things which I see, and then we can train them, into our category to, do well.
So what are the 3 things you focus upon while training them?
So as I said again that they have to little bit educated for sure to understand the nuances of the business, because this business is a little bit tricky, as you said it right. Everybody knows food, because they say that they cook at home. Everybody knows food, and post-COVID everybody has started cooking also so well, I think, and they have been doing amazing business. So I think, as I said, that a little bit education is key, and a little bit understatement will be that they have to know the food business. They may not know the food business fine, but at least at the store level they have to know the business which we train them on. So these are a couple of things which you always see into a new employee which comes on board.
So doesn't technology come to your rescue for that?
So for certain characters, I think always say that tech is there, but it has to be an enabler. For a new employee to come on board, I'm sure that today everybody is a techie, everybody knows what they are doing in terms of technology. Everybody is on social media, everyone on Insta of the world, so they know it all, what needs to be done. Now how to take back from them is a question of us, how to, so that's what we look at. Tech is very important these days. I think it's more like an enabler for us.
So which are the other ways you are using tech into your business?
So a lot of things, I think, right from opening to closing checklists, from right into the segment of inventory, to actually taking the consumer on board, that how they're coming, behaving, the behavioral instinct, the age group, etc. We are doing loyalty programs with that. So tech has been a great enabler for us to understand the psyche of the consumer.
So tech is moving at a very fast pace, and it is evolving the retail landscape here in India. What if it takes your job someday? What will you do?
Then I would have not evolved, I would have thought. But I think tech may be great. As I said, that it has to be enabler more than a replacer, if you ask me. But if ever that happens, maybe then I would have retired by that time, I think. And but I would have definitely wanting to train people in that phase of life where I am not relevant to the industry, I think. But that may not happen, I think, soon.
So when we talk about the food service industry, how do you see it growing going ahead? Because now we talk about consumers, they know the cuisines, they know the international ingredients, they know what there should be in their food. So how do you see it evolving going ahead? With the consumer is so evolved now.
So I think we have to be relevant with times. I think post-COVID we have seen that whatever we do, whatever the consumer wants, we are doing. So I think you have to be relevant with times. You have to evolve with time all the time. I think if you are there in that segment, I think you are here to stay as a business, again I'm saying.
And how do you see MOD growing going ahead?
I think we are in great space now. I think the business is from a niche category has gone to somewhere into a staple, I still feel. I still feel that a couple of more brands for donuts should come into this country, to take the segment a little bit bigger and, in a larger one. But for us, I think we are well placed at this point of time. Customers are liking us. We are engaged with consumers time and again with a flavor festival, with a lot of activities of donut day, etc. what we'll be doing soon. So I think we are in with the tide what consumer wants, and brand is well settled at this point of time in this country.
So innovating and marketing as per the consumer needs.
As per they say. So whatever flavor festival also we do is as per the consumer what they say. If you are saying that listen, do a caramel festival, we do it. You say that listen, tie up with a Kit Kat company, we have done it. Tie up with a Lotus Biscoff, we have done it. So I think whatever consumer wants and their mindset, I think we are evolved along with the consumer.
So Tarak, before we wrap it up, I would love to have a rapid fire with you.
Sure, please.
So I will not give you time to think about it, but let's see.
One.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me, which is your favorite business book and what have you learned from that?
I have not read many books in my life. You genuinely ask me. I think that could be a curse if you genuinely ask me if somebody comes to know about it. But yeah, a couple of books here and there. But I have read One Century is Not Enough by Charu, which actually teaches you the wrong things more than the right things. I think how you take failure more than success into your stride. But these days I started hearing to podcast. I think recently I did The Alchemist, I think, which was quite nice, I think. Yeah, here and there, but not much into books if you genuinely ask me.
One brand or retailer that you admire a lot?
Starbucks, for sure. I think they have made coffee into a culture more than anything else. I think it's brilliant, I think.
If not in food service industry, what else you would have been doing?
I had been doing automobile.
Really?
I love cars.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have loved cars, but unfortunately I couldn't get into the admission, so I didn't do automobile engineering.
So when we talk about, everybody knows that you are the main head who is running the main face, basically, who is running the MOD here in India.
Sure.
But nobody knows what do you do in your free time. So what do you do?
If I say I sleep a lot, okay, I do sleep a lot. I will not deny that. Whenever I have time, I become a couch potato. I listen to a lot of songs. I can see Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, English. I can see anything and everything under this earth, and with my couch on and sleep on that forever. Yeah, but I love going to the stores. But on the weekends, I think me and my wife just enter any stores, listen to them, see greetings from the customer. I think it's a great habit. It gives me amazing motivation more than anything else.
Being an omnichannel retailer, where do you shop from, online or offline?
Tough one, but I don't shop online a lot of times, unless, as I said, that I was trying to do shop online because I didn't have clothes last week. But offline, yes, because I find it amazing to visit stores, see what is happening newly, speak to the people. I think it's a great knowledge experience, I think. Although you're not into food business, if I go to any branded store or apparel stores, you come to know so many things just looking at the consumer or the people who interact with the consumer. I think that is also one of the big things which I do.
Tarak, what is the right way of building a business as per you? Because food service business, we hear that lot many businesses open and then they shut down, right? The success
Correct.
rate is very, very low.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we talk about the food service business, the upcoming entrepreneurs who want to take a stride into this industry, what suggestion would you love to give to them?
I think have a lot of patience, I think. Patience is key to this business, I think, because a lot of people want to make food successful overnight, which is not the thing. You have to be in this business and seek customers' involvement all the time in this business because, as I said, people know food very well because if you have a little bit salt here and sugar here and there, people understand there's a problem with the food. But it's a lot about persistence, I think. It's a lot of patience. I think patience is key for any kind of business, and for this business particularly in food. And if you can be there, live there, and get addicted, again I'm saying, then you're into this for sure, forever.
That's wonderful, Tarak. It was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you, Charu. Pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hope you also enjoyed this episode. If yes, please share it on your social media channels, comment and like on this video. And we'll be back again next week with a new retailer and a new story. Till then, bye-bye.